I've changed a lot how I cruise over the years, but I've definitely cut out some things that I don't do anymore on Royal Caribbean. Here's a list of things that I've cut up next. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Over the years, I've changed how I cruise, and a lot of it has to do with my tastes and preferences. And some of that has to do with the fact that I've raised 2 children over the years, and of course, different changes and selections within Royal Caribbean's brands and offerings and prices. There's a lot of reasons why things change. I think as humans, we evolve and we find new ways and new things that appeal to us and whatnot. But in thinking about it, I've definitely changed how I cruise today in 2024 compared to what it was when I first started going on my very first Royal Caribbean cruise back in 2006 on Explorer of the Seas. Heck, if you were to close your eyes and think about your very first Royal Caribbean cruise compared to your cruises now, I'm willing to bet that that's going to have changed, at least in some aspects of it. So I came with a list of things that I have cut out of my cruising since I first started cruising. We'll start with number 1, and that is I really don't buy the drink package anymore. I was kind of surprised by this because I wrote it down and then I said, wait a minute, did I actually do this? And the answer is, yeah, I think so. So I still enjoy drinks on a Royal Caribbean cruise. In fact, I love the fact that when we go on a vacation, we get a chance to take a break from life and enjoy cocktails and beers and those pina coladas by the beach. Who doesn't love that, right? But the drink packages have changed a lot. And by changing a lot, I really mean they've got super expensive. I still think they provide a value, and I think there's a role for them. But as I've attained status within Royal Caribbean's Crown and Anchor Society and discovered the amazing benefits you can get if you gamble in Royal Caribbean's casinos, I've stepped away from buying a drink package. So, as an example, instead of buying a drink package, I rely on the complimentary drinks I get in the casino because I've reached the prime status within the casino program and the Royal Caribbean Crown and Anchor drink vouchers. So we've talked about this in the past, where if you gamble enough in the casino, you can actually get a certain loyalty status there, and for a year, you can enjoy unlimited drinks in the casino bar. Again, I wouldn't recommend this to everybody because gambling has inherent risks, and of course, it's very addictive. But for me, and my wife at least, it works out okay. On top of that, we can augment the drinks in other bars with the fact that we are Pinnacle Club members within Crown and Anchor Society, and we're entitled to 6 free drinks every day of the cruise. If you're Diamond, you get 4. If you're Diamond Plus, you get 5. Now, of course, if you're a brand new cruiser, maybe this strategy doesn't work for you. In fact, it doesn't work because you can't get those until you reach Diamond. However, again, these are things I've cut out since I've started cruising. I have found that by cutting out the drink package, I can save a lot of money, and that's really the reason why. Number 2, and I hate to say this, but I really stopped taking photos on board the ship. It's really strange, actually. So, all around your Royal Caribbean ship, you're going to notice opportunities to take photos. When you board the ship, there's a photo opportunity with you and the ship. And then each evening, there are photos that you can take around the ship. And I really like this, but I kind of realized in coming up with this list that I just cut this out. And what's really strange is I get 2 free photos every cruise because of my Crown and Anchor Society status. So you would think if I got free photos, why wouldn't I do that? But I think it's kind of like a been there, done that. And I wish we actually wouldn't have cut this out. But if I'm being honest with all of you, I'm thinking back to the last year plus of cruises, and I'm not sure we've stopped to get family photos there. Now, my kids have done this a couple times where they've stopped to get photos. My 13-year-old daughter is starting to get to the age where she wants to get the glamour shots, so she's willing to do that, and she wants to get the free photo, sure, knock herself out. But this is kind of one where it's a bit of a head scratcher because on paper, I should be doing this. And I really liked having those photos taken. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we've kind of taken a little more casual. I'll talk about that a little later in this video. But I also think maybe I'm just taking it for granted and we're like, well, there's always that opportunity should we want to. And because I do cruise a lot, it's not like there isn't going to be an opportunity soon enough to try it again. But for whatever reason, we stopped taking photos around the ship. And by the way, just for the record, I don't know if you guys all agree with me on this one. When you're in a restaurant, whether it's the dining room or especially a restaurant, I never want a photo in there. I know they have those roaming photographers. I don't know why you'd want a photo in the dining room, but some people do, but that's just me. Number 3, I got rid of my DSLR camera. Oh man, this one I'm so happy I got rid of. So back in the day, you go on a cruise, bring a great camera, and I would bring a giant DSLR camera because I wanted the best photos of my family and the places we were going. And listen, a DSLR camera is still a great idea if you're, semi-pro photographer or just want to get great shots out there. It's good. I still own it. I don't actually know where it is in my office right now, but I still own it. That being said, I got rid of it. Why? Because I'm using my iPhone instead. And obviously, the quality of photos you can get in an iPhone today versus back 10 years ago is night and day difference. Moreover, the bulk and the heft that comes, and the weight, with the DSLR just simply wasn't worth it. And in so many cases, it's so much easier to use my iPhone. So the combination of the heft involved with the DSLR and the improved quality of a phone camera, considering I'm not printing out giant prints of these photos and I'm not submitting them to like National Geographic, I'm just using photos that are going to be used on the web and compressed heavily in order to be delivered in an efficient manner. The iPhone is totally fine. And I think for most families, by the way, that is good as well. I mean, there is a role for a DSLR camera, especially if you're going to a place like Alaska or Norwegian fjords, or you're just going anywhere beautiful and exotic and you want to truly get the best quality photos. There is something to be said about what you can get out of a DSLR, but I've cut it out and I can't even remember the last time I brought a DSLR camera on a cruise ship. It just doesn't make any sense for me anymore. Number 4 was a personal choice for health reasons, and that is I've pretty much cut out all the sugary drinks. I mean, it's rare, but I still do order them occasionally. But back in the day, and in fact, if you heard me talk about maybe in these YouTube videos or on a Real Caribbean Blog podcast, I always recommended drinks like the Lava Flow with Kraken rum, which, by the way, is still a fabulous drink. The problem is there's just so much sugar in it. And after like 1 or 2, it just adds up. Now, when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, yeah, I would pound those bad boys, no problem. I loved them. They were tasty. They were great. Made me feel like I was on vacation. I loved it. The thing is, as I've gotten older, I kind of think that maybe it's not the best choice. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can go a little overboard in terms of your eating or drinking on a Royal Caribbean cruise ship. And I prefer, quite frankly, to enjoy those extra calories at different restaurants and indulge there. But when it comes to my alcoholic drinks, and again, I mentioned I still enjoy drinks as I still go to the casino and have my diamond drinks that I get through the Crown and Anchor Society, I've just found that the very sugary drinks, like a Kraken Colada or a daiquiri, just simply aren't worth it in the grand scheme of where do I want to consume my calories. Now, again, I'm not here to tell you what you should or shouldn't order. I think they're very, very nice drinks to have. And let me tell you something, when you have one, it really does feel like vacation. However, I just found that overall, I just prefer to cut that out as one way to make it just a little bit better, maybe save a couple pounds here and there. Next up is I definitely bring less suits. So I'm going to say I'm much more casual on board and I bring less suits on board. Now, to be clear, we still dress up, but I used to bring far more formal clothes on a cruise. Now, on a 3 or 4 night cruise, I mean, I'll bring a collared shirt and a nice pair of jeans. I'm not bringing a suit anymore on a 3 or 4 night cruise. However, for a longer sailing, like a 7-night cruise, I will bring probably a jacket and a nice shirt. The tie, man, it's got to be something really important or like a holiday or somebody's birthday, or I'm going to a special restaurant. Empire Supper Club, yeah, I'm bringing the tie for that one. But truly, we bring less suits on board the cruise because I feel like there's less of a need to do so. I think this is a combination of me being me, and also I think a shift within the cruise industry to be a little less formal. Certainly, Royal Caribbean still has, they don't call them formal nights anymore. It's just dress your best and whatnot. I don't read too much into that. In my opinion, dress your best and formal nights are about the same. It's not a requirement. It's just more of a suggestion on what you should wear. And I do like actually dressing up. It's kind of nice when you have that. It feels a little more regal, and that's a nice aspect of it. But I've just found there's like in the beginning of cruising, or at least when I started cruising, I felt like I needed to dress up. It was a big thing and I really enjoyed it. But as I've gotten older and I've cruised more, I think maybe the luster, maybe the novelty's worn off a little bit. And on top of that, I just think that general attitudes towards the formalness, if you will, of going on a cruise have changed a lot as well. So for those reasons, I bring less suits on board. And lastly, the last thing I've cut out of cruising since my early days is I have stopped going to the spa raffles. So on embarkation day, in the Royal Caribbean Vitality Spa, there will be a raffle right around sail away time in which you could win like free things at the spa, including free spa treatments. And when I first started cruising, man, I was there every single time, my tickets in hand, fingers crossed, couldn't wait to win. And of course, I never won anything. The problem with the spa raffle is, number one, you need to be there to win it. And it's always during sail away time. They always do it right when the ship sails away, and you need to be there to win it. And I'd rather be like almost anywhere else than the spa for sail away. Not to mention the fact that the giveaways are very limited, and I never won once. I think maybe one time, maybe won like $100 off or something like that. But the odds are always stacked against you. There's a lot of people that are there, and it just feels like it's not a great use of my time, and the odds are low. It's one thing if you could say, like, listen, you go here, and everybody's gonna get money off. Okay, well then maybe it's worth my time to go there. But I've just found that overall, I've dropped the spa Raffles, and I'm really trying to think of the last time we actually went to the raffle. We do tour the spa. That's a great idea, by the way. On embarkation days, tour the spa. There's no obligation, no cost to do so. It's a good way to see the facilities. But going to the actual raffle itself, I mean, listen, if you want to and try your luck and you're not hard pressed to miss out on the sailaway experience, go for it. But for me, I've cut out the spa Raffles. So there you have it, the list of things that I have stopped doing, cut out of a Royal Caribbean cruise. Let me know in the comments below, what are the things that you have cut out since you started cruising on Royal Caribbean? I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on that. While you're below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. That way, YouTube will let you know of a brand new video to share. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.